Hey guys, so on this video, I'm going to hop into all things canvas, aka foundation. So first things first is getting the right color, because if you don't have the right color, you can, and again, in the Midwest, our color and our skin color changes all the time out in the sun or not any sun, as my current skin is. We want to make sure we help you match to the right shade so that your foundation looks good. And so you don't have, maybe you match your foundation to your face and it looks okay. And then you turn to the side and you have like that big line of foundation, your face to your neck difference, right? So I just want to kind of show you the best ways to match your foundation, whether this be through me or you have your own foundation at home. I want you guys to grab your guys' foundation at home, whether you do this while you're watching the video, if you're watching the replay, go in and pause it and then go get your foundation. And then once you guys have matched yourself and I show you this, please comment below like my foundation matches or oh my goodness, it doesn't match. And I will pin above this a foundation quiz that we have. So if you'd like to try a sample of our foundation, like I mentioned before, our main foundations are these big ones. You can see I've used these foundations forever and they're my go-to. But you can order a sample of our foundation. So this is the big like main product, and then this is the sizes of the samples. These are my concealers, but these are the sample sizes, and sample sizes, we've tried them out, and everyone's a little different, right? But for the most part, just this sample will last you up to a month of this, which is pretty neat because usually samples don't last very long. So I'll post that above this once I get done. You guys can click it. It'll help you do a shade match. It walks through a little quiz. And then you can either order a sample. It's like $7.95 for a sample, and that's with shipping and everything, which is pretty cool. Or you can get a full product, of course. Or if you have your own in your makeup bag that matches, awesome. I just want to help you with that. Or if you have questions, once you've done your color quiz and stuff, let me know. But first I want to show you how to swatch your skin. So for me, I'm super pasty, and you actually want to swatch it. You'll notice some people swatch along the face. And you actually don't want to do that because I have makeup on right now, so you can't tell. But if I took my makeup off, I have a lot of pink undertones, especially in the summer because I'll get a little more pink. It'll turn to a tan, but I'm pink. So if I were to match it to my skin, I would almost match it to like a pinkish tone, right? So what you want to do is match it to your chest. I'm a little red right now because I'm warm, but you'll want to match it to your chest. If you are warm or burnt, and I'm probably pink right now because this stuff makes me nervous right now getting started, but match it to your chest because that's going to be the best match for you. Or if you have just been outside, not in Minnesota here, but if you were just on a trip or outside or something like that, your chest might be burnt, right? So take that into consideration and then don't match it on your burnt chest. Maybe match it on the side of your shoulder blade or somewhere that maybe didn't get burnt, okay? So find a spot along your chest line here, neckline here that's not burnt or doesn't have hyperpigmentation or changes like that. Find your truest full body color point on your skin. So try to do that. I'll show you, as I mentioned in my first video, I have tons of shades. So this is our shade 1, I have our shade 2, a 3, and I think I got a 4 even too for the tan when I get really summer. Yeah, in the summer when I get really tan, I have a 4. So I am, throughout the year, I'm 4 different shades. Don't feel like you have to get 4 different shades. You can use a lighter concealer to mix with your shade to make it lighter. In the summertime when you get darker, you can use a concealer to mix that with your lighter color and make a darker shade. And I'd be more than happy to help so you guys don't have to buy a bunch of products. But I am super pasty, so I know I'm the shade 1. And we have awesome foundation. Most foundations are only pigmented like 15 to 20%, just meaning like how pigmented is that shade. So when I've dabbled in other makeup products before and I found some good ones, but I still felt like I'm putting on a ton to get the same coverage that I have with our makeup. And our makeup is the only like direct marketing one that is used at pro events. So we are actually in New York City, we're at pro makeup artist events, and we are the only direct line company that does that. Our makeup is 50% pigmented, so more than double what's out on the market right now. So I will show you. Like I said, I think I'm kind of, but it should almost go in your skin. Like you can't even really see where I put it, right? So that's the foundation I want to use for my face. Now, if I go in with my summer foundation, which I wish I looked this dark, but I'm not, and I'm trying to protect my skin, right, now that I'm in my 30s. So here is my summer one. And we can see that is way too dark, right? But that's my summer one. So that would not match my face versus my nice winter one that I'm on now. I just put a bunch, but you can see that just blends right in. So take your foundation and just do a little swatch test on your chest, and making sure that, of course, it's not burnt, but swatch your chest and see if it matches or not. And then let me know in the comments below if it matches, doesn't match. I'm going to post above this video a color quiz to help you with that. And then that's the best way to do that. Okay, so that's foundations, matching foundations. And again, I can go more in depth on videos, but for now, I'm just going to show you how to color match and do that. So that is kind of figuring out your color match. Now, if you have areas that you want to cover up, get rid of, I want to tell you some things I've learned that I honestly did not know. So if you have any redness, maybe you're sunburnt, maybe your face is burnt, maybe you have a pimple, or you have some areas that are more pink than other areas of your face, then you're going to want to use, I think of like the color wheel, you're going to want to use green or yellow undertoned concealer to get rid of that. So like our concealer number 1 is a good one for that. Where is my, so you can see here, can you see that this one's kind of more yellow undertoned? So if I had a lovely pimple from all these masks or things like that, right, I could just take, and you can use a brush. I like to use, again, we'll go more into tools, but a brush that is more dense. So you can see when I push on this, it's definitely more dense versus a fluffy brush. I'll call it fluffy. This fluffy one won't get into that spot like you like it. So if you have a pimple right here and you do it with the fluff, it's not going to cover up really well because it's kind of almost, there's a lot of air between the brush spaces. So it's not going to do a nice cover job, if that makes sense. So if you're trying to cover up something, you'd want to use a dense brush. So look at when your makeup bag for something dense, whatever size, dense. Just like if you think of painting your room, right? If you're painting your room and you're going to go in and you're like, oh shoot, I missed this little spot on my wall. You're going to try to find a very hard, dense brush to get that little spot, right? It's the same when you're doing with your face. Versus if you're just lightly brushing with a fluffy brush that has a lot of air between the bristles, it's not going to get a nice cover, if that makes sense. So you could just go in, do this, or you can warm it up a little bit with your... All right, sorry about that. I like to warm up our foundations, concealers with my finger. So you can just warm it up like that and even just dab it on your hand, because it seriously takes like a dot, because this stuff is so pigmented. And then I would just take it off my hand with my nice dense brush and cover up. I have a, I don't know what this is, a birthmark. Right there, it's like a little pink birthmark. Just, I mean, it's already gone. So with anything red, use a yellowish or greenish undertoned, so yellow right here. And that's our number 1 concealer. I will link everything above. If you have under eyes, so darkness under your eyes, that is blue or purple, so color wheel, opposite, or what you want to use for covering up under eyes. Lots of times we will use lots of concealer, right? Or you'll go in, because I did this too, with a lighter concealer than your skin color, and then you do the big triangle or you cover the whole thing up, right? So actually, instead of caking that all on there, and as myself, now that I'm in my 30s, I'll notice I'll have more creases under there, right? Then we do the whole baking powder thing, or baking it with powder. What actually the best thing to do is use a pinkish or salmon colored undertone. If you obviously have darker skin or African American skin, then you're going to want to use more of an orange color to counteract the more purple tones. But if you're Caucasian, etc., you're going to use more of a pink tone. So my go-to for the pink tone in our concealers is number 3. And I like to use, find my little brush here. I don't know where my little brush went, but I have like a little diffusing brush I use, but I'll just use this one again. Again, I just warm it up a little bit. This is pinkish toned to counteract blue. Dab it on, use my there, and then wherever I have blue. And don't do the whole thing, just do where it is. If you have a little here, and then you can do a little if you have it there. Otherwise, I just, as little as possible, right? We usually can have some here and then right there. So I'm just using the salmon. Our number 3 concealer is kind of a salmon color. and it'll take away all of that. And then if you want to go in with a little setting powder, you can do that as well. Just kind of set that right there, and then always go up, especially if you're 30 or over. Help bring things up, right? So always go up with whenever you're doing stuff. And then when you're doing your moisturizer and stuff too, just always kind of move your skin up. What else can I tell you guys? So that is kind of a little bit about our foundation, concealers, redness, pink undertones, etc. So I will link to our foundation quiz above, and if you guys link that foundation quiz and put your info in there, you also get my contact list, so I can update you on different things that come out. But check your makeup bag, go on there, do that swatch test to see if you have if your makeup matches you or not. Comment below if it matches, or what else you'd like to know about foundation in general. Feel free to comment or reach out and message me, or like I said, I will link that quiz right above here, and then I'll continue this series and move on to the next thing to help you guys learn a little bit more about makeup, products, tools, etc. Thanks.